Hey guys, Strategy Run here. Welcome to a new video. Today we are talking about if the Warriors should trade anybody, if at all. And this is a different type of video that we're doing today, as normally I do gameplay or something like that. But today I did want to talk about this because it has been in the news a lot, so let's get right to it. Now I will tell you this is more of my opinion because I am a Warriors fan, so it will be more towards what I think the Warriors should do rather than what the Bucks should do. So within the past week especially, the Warriors have had trade rumors surrounding them and the Milwaukee Bucks about trading one of their bigs to the Bucks, who currently have some big man problems, as with Jabari Parker hurt and them trading away Greg Monroe, they only have two credible big men, as they have John Henson and Thon Maker. And as we see, John Henson is solid, but he should really be playing off the bench. He seems better in an off the bench type of role. And Thon Maker hasn't really impressed many this season after a decent-ish first season in the NBA. He has shot worse from the field, shot worse from three, and really just hasn't made an impact playing more minutes, but putting this around the same type of production or worse. And it's not really the type of development that the Bucks have expected, thus making sense for the Bucks to want a trade. So basically, they have three options. They can trade JaVale McGee, Zaza Pachulia, or Jordan Bell. And those were the three names mentioned within the call, as we read online in the rumors. Apparently, we don't know what the response was about it, but we can only assume that Jordan Bell was untouchable, because Jordan Bell has played amazingly well, and the Warriors should think of him as an untouchable player, as, you know, with the steal with the 38th pick, he's averaging 5.5 points per game, which might not be the most impressive thing, but for me, what has captured it is mostly by watching him, you can tell that he is a pretty good player. He is a high IQ player who fits in well. He's like a Draymond Green type of role player. And obviously he's not as good as Draymond yet. He hasn't really developed a shot outside of like 5-ish feet. But I think he's getting there. The jump shot looks good, and I think if he develops that jump shot that it'll work. His free throw percentage is also at 71%, which is a pretty good percentage as well. And it's mostly on the defensive side of the ball, just as Draymond Green is. And he's 6'9", so he's taller than Draymond Green, and he's more athletic than Draymond Green, which I think is why many can think of Jordan Bell as possibly the Warriors' fifth player in that center role when the Warriors go small. And just watching with the Warriors, you can see how the Warriors utilize Jordan Bell as a great player. So, which is why Jordan Bell wouldn't be traded. And for the Warriors, I think if they trade JaVale McGee, there's really only two options that they can do here. They can either sign Quinn Cook, which is their two-way option so far this season, and he has played decently well in the role. When Steph Curry got hurt, he has been averaging 3.2 points per game, 1.6 assists per game, and 1.1 rebounds per game on 44.8% shooting, which is decent, and I think it's what the Warriors could need if they want a third-string point guard, because right now the only true point guards on the team are Stephen Curry and Sean Livingston, with Patrick McCaw kind of becoming a point guard, but not really yet. I don't really think he's developed there. So basically, the Warriors can either sign Quinn Cook or they can sign someone new, which could be waiting to get someone from the buyout season, because normally each year someone gets bought out, or signing someone possibly from the G League, because there's not a lot of people right now in free agency that the Warriors should be interested in. Now, talking about who the Warriors should trade, we just X'd out Jordan Bell, right? So it's Zaza Pachulia or JaVale McGee, and I'm going to be honest right now, I think it should be JaVale McGee. Looking at Zaza, he has been averaging 5.3 points per game, 4.9 rebounds per game, 1.7 assists per game, and 58% shooting in only 14.6 minutes per game. This has been one of his most productive years. Well, actually, his most productive year as a Warrior. He's shooting more productively than last year, and though he may not be rebounding as well, and like that, his stats may be going down, you can see the efficiency is actually better, despite him averaging less minutes, because though he may not fit with the league going small, we see that he plays basically in the first quarter and the third quarter of most games, and sometimes a little longer if he's doing really well, and that there's a big man on the other team. Zaza is a decent defensive player in the way that he can box out. Like, he can't guard people on the wings, but I think Zaza would definitely be more valuable. And also for the chemistry wise, because if you get rid of Zaza, somebody else would have to take that starting position. And as we just saw last game, Zaza has a crazy amount of chemistry with people in the starting role. And so I think that Zaza would be necessary to this, just for the regular season at least, for this season. So that leaves JaVale McGee. JaVale McGee had a resurrection of a season last year, and when it seemed like his NBA career was about to go down the drain, he averaged 6.1 points per game last year, and did that in just 9.6 minutes per game. But with teams really finding out his weaknesses, we can see that JaVale McGee isn't as good on defense. And just to state things, that Jordan Bell has really taken his minutes as a rotation role player, and that Bell obviously makes mistakes, but that he's rookie and he's basically better at everything that McGee can do. Obviously not as tall as McGee, and the athleticism may not be there as much as McGee is, but Bell really fits into the playstyle that the Warriors do, and he's really fast. So with that, trading McGee might be the best option because Bell can really replace what McGee does, sadly. The only thing for me that I see McGee doing is obviously being another center that the Warriors have, because they really only have Zaza and McGee and maybe West as their true centers. So taking McGee out is kind of taking out the third string center, and that might not be the best option. And he's also a high character guy, but I think that if they were to trade him, then it could prove to be valuable. Currently, he is averaging 3.7 points per game, 1.9 rebounds per game, and 0.5 steals per game, and 60% field goal in only 8.1 minutes per game. McGee has mostly played in garbage time and hasn't really had a lot of moments this season for the Warriors. He has had some bright spots, like I watched the Warriors game, so I see that he's doing well against Andre Drummond when he played against the Pistons, and he's had some other good moments from time to time, but he just really hasn't fit in and really hasn't found that role like he did last year, coming off the bench, and we often only see him in a time card garbage time. As I've stated, McGee would be the best option here. Now, even though Jabari Parker is returning soon for the Bucks, JaVale can still be another string center and could possibly even take Thon Maker's minutes. Though I don't think he's as good as Thon Maker. I don't watch a lot of Thon, but JaVale can kind of come off the bench and be a good rebounder and be a good energy player, and though he can only play in spurts, for the Bucks, I think that might be valuable for a team that kind of is a little inconsistent at times. And so I think McGee could possibly average like 5 to 10 minutes per game on the Bucks and do that, because I think with the right role, McGee could find a good position and a good role on the team, and that he could perform well. So I think the Bucks should definitely consider a trade like so. Basically, in this case, the Warriors would trade JaVale McGee, who is only on a 1-year contract, so he's not worth a lot. And so the only thing I would consider for the Bucks, if not cash considerations, because I don't think the Warriors should ever accept something with only cash considerations, they can either try and get someone like DeAndre Liggins. If not DeAndre Liggins, then they can get a future second rounder. And looking at their future second rounders, the one that seems most clean to me is 2020. So they don't have to trade one from this year, they can trade one in a few years, and that can prove valuable either way. So to recap this up, the Warriors have 3 options here, trading JaVale McGee, Zaza Pachulia, or Jordan Bell. Jordan Bell to me is untouchable because he has played so well for the Warriors. Zaza Pachulia is also untouchable in this position to me, because I don't think the Bucks have anyone to offer back of value. And for Zaza, only a 1-year contract, and he plays well with the starters, and he has good chemistry with them, and I don't think that he would do as well on other teams. So I think Zaza stays here in this position, and JaVale is the most athletic, and I think that he can work with other teams under a small spurt role off the bench in an energy position. So tell me your thoughts in the comment section below about what the Warriors should do. For me, I think trading JaVale is the best thing because he would fit in well, and that he could also, work well in that Bucks system because it depends on the system ultimately. And I don't think the Bucks system is that bad for him, especially on a team that runs mostly on transition offense. That is something that JaVale can thrive on by running back and forth on the floor. But nevertheless, this is the end of this video. I am sorry if you found this video very unorganized. This is my first video doing something like this, talking about the NBA. Maybe more to come, maybe not. If you didn't find it well, tell me in the comment section below. Be honest. Give me constructive criticism though. Don't just all out hate. And thank you for all you do. Turn on post notifications because I don't know when my next video will come out. I've been posting all types of videos lately, so some you might enjoy, some you might not. But just stick around and see which ones you do. But I've been Treasure Man. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.